Manchester United put one leg into the finals already in the Europa League, or is it too early to say? Arguably say no. I put my chest out to say, come on, United. What a brilliant performance against Athletic Bilbao, or Athletic Club. 0-3. Manchester United prevail. Seeing Vivian in the 35-minute getting a red card, and Casimiro turning into the best prime, turning back the clock, Casimiro. And we're also going to talk about Harry Maguire. I put my hand up to say, sorry, Harry Maguire, I was wrong. I've been your worst critic, but Harry Maguire, you turn into a prime Maldini on that wing, people. How do you feel to me, a Manchester United play today? We're going to talk about the game in isolation. We're going to talk about potentially winning the Europa League and what does that mean for Manchester United in terms of the budget, in terms of the transfer window, but in terms of the fan and turning the corner. There's also latest reports to say that no other than Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos looking to acquire a full ownership of Manchester United by selling Nice. This is MUFC Realist TV. This is the Friday vibes. I am flabbergasted. Guys, do me a massive favor. If you're just tuning in, let people know that we are live. And don't forget to do one thing. Yes, you should like and subscribe. And we will be back in 20 seconds. Enjoy.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go, people. This is Harry Maguire. Is it? Or is this Harry Maradona? I don't know. What do we call them? Is Harry Maguire turning the corner, peeps? That is the big question. I was wrong about Harry Maguire, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV, the aftermath, the after show. I am goddamn proud of our team. I mean, looking at our season, we've been deprived as fans, like, sitting 14th in the league. And there's always that, the dream, the fantasy. Can Manchester United go all the way into the Europa League and win the final? It's looking more likely 2 games away to win the Europa League and qualify into the Champions League next season, and also getting 100 million to spend in the transfer window, and also potentially having more budgets to go and get a Victor Gyökeres, because we need experience. That was shown yesterday, people. How do you feel to be a Man United fan today? Senior players stepping up to the plate. If you look at the first 20 minutes, he was shaky. He was nervous. Dogo misplacing the ball. Ugarte nervous, also misplacing the ball. It was so many players that were rattled and shaking, and of course the atmosphere in Bilbao was horrendous. It wasn't easy to be for Man United to go there and play Athletic Bilbao. By the way, they were saying that they are pretty much unbeaten. It's saying that they have the strongest defense in the league, but here we are, bagging 3 goals away, sending us to a frenzy, sending us to a return game home to Old Trafford. And if Man United will bottle this, I'll be angry. They cannot bottle this. I see it. There's no way. I put my chest up, like Paul Scholes was saying yesterday as well. We're in it, baby. We are definitely in it. And if we look at Spurs, Bordeaux Glimt, Spurs is also through, almost 3-1 against Bordeaux Glimt. But guess what? Bordeaux Glimt got a goal at the dying minutes, at the 88th minute. So it means that they still glimmer of hope, because they are going to Norway Spurs to play Bordeaux Glimt, and they are really, really well, Bordeaux Glimt at home, to be honest. So it might be a pure English final. Nobody really knows. But listen, oh my daisy, oh my daisy, oh my daisy, Harry Maldini, Harry Maguire, who are you? Or even more like this, Harry Maradona or Harry Maguire. I don't know, man. Let's talk about Maguire. Let's talk about Harry Maguire. first and foremost, like, I need to apologize to Harry. Like, he was a player that was booed out, in the stadium. He was the player that most people wanted out of the club, but he stuck his head down. I mean, he dug his head out of the sand. He put in a shift and he told himself that I'm going to prove you fans wrong. And boy, has he done it. He's done it, literally. Harry Maguire has been rock solid under Ruben Amorim's system. Hasn't really put any foot wrong. So he suits a 3 in the back system. We know that. But he was vitally important yesterday, showing leadership and experience. And leadership and experience also talking about Casimiro. Casimiro turning back the clock, being the old prime Casimiro. So instrumental and almost, I think, man of the match in my opinion. But if you look at around the media, Bruno Fernandes, another senior player, stepped up to the plate and doing 2 goals, 1 penalty. But Casemiro heading in that goal in from beautiful wing play of Harry Maguire. I mean, come on, Harry. I can't believe what I saw Harry Maguire yesterday. This is unbelievable. It's unprecedented. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Harry steps up to the plate, receives a ball like, from Bruno Fernandes' free kick, and does it. Not only does he do the defender once, but twice. And then he puts in a beautiful cross that Manuel Ugarte heads to Casemiro. So Manuel Ugarte had 2 assists. What a performance from Manchester United. What are you feeling, peeps? What are you feeling? Should we apologize and put our hands up for Harry Maguire? Good morning, everyone coming into the house. Mark is in the house, is what to say. I told you all yesterday the positive prophet I am. Yeah, it's written in the stars. Like, Ruben Amorim and Mark, I agree. There's got to be something magical. There's got to be a written in the stars, like, that Manchester United will go and win. I mean, we look at, we have won 2 trophies 2 years in a row. And could it be a Europa League, a big scalp? Harry-dinho, 100% Harry-dinho, Mark. Where is everyone today? Everyone is hangover, I guess. But at the end of the day, man, listen, if we are looking at the game in isolation, if we just look at it, let's look at the overall momentum. Let's add this to the stage, people. Let's just add this to the stage. So here we go. All right. This was the momentum where in the opening minute, this is what we were saying, that Man United needs to be compact. Everyone was kind of a little bit cagey, nervous. We're losing the possession. So the red represents Athletic Bilbao, or Athletic Club, what you say. So you can see here all the way up to the 28th minute where the red card came. Actually, the red card came in the 34th minute. They had majority of the pressure on the ball. The Williams brothers almost scored twice. There was a header from Williams Sr. that went over the crossbar, and we was like crossing our legs. And, at the end of the day, I was also singing, Lindelof looked also a little bit displaced. I was Lindelof's biggest critic yesterday, but I need to apologize as well, because Lindelof saved us twice, once blocking the shot as well from the Williams brother as well. So, guys, it was a little bit of an unbalanced setup, but, we did a sort of pre-match show to say, look, at the end of the day, all we have to do, keep it compact the first 20 minutes, and then we go pedal to the metal. Because if you look at the bench, we had Dialo coming in. We had Matthias de Ligt coming in as well, getting minutes as well. We had Kobbie Mainoo back. The only injury that we have currently is Lisandro Martinez and Diego Dalot. So it's shaping up good for a Europa League final in Bilbao. So either way, if we're going back to Bilbao, we are going back. We already played that stadium, so we know the pitch. We know the atmosphere. We know the angles. And that is advantage to Manchester United. And therefore, I am so confident. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm too giddy. Manchester United will win the Europa League. It's written in the stars. But after that, the white is Man United. It's all dominance for Manchester United. In overall top stats, if you look at it, Manchester United had total 73% ball possession. And the XG in terms of scoring goals, Man United have 2.55. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Barring for the first 20 minutes when they were attacking us, which I was very nervous, I've never had such a experience just sitting on cruise controls and enjoying being a Man United fan. You know what I mean? It was so relaxing and so refreshing at the end of the day. If we go into look at the overall stats, who was your man of the match? There is a poll running, people. There is a poll running. You can see the pitch performance. If we could sort of enhance this a little bit. If we can enhance it. Yeah, we're already on 100%. Yeah. But if we look at Man United, okay, they were giving actually Harry Maguire 7.4. I think it should be a higher score. And the man of the match, according to their opinion, was Bruno Fernandes. Of course, Captain Bruno, you needed leaders on the pitch. But this is what I want to talk about. Leaders is so important. And now Ineos can look at it and say, look, we need to recruit more senior players. Because if we're going to be in the Champions League, we need leaders. Therefore, I think that Harry Maguire stepped up to the plate. Casemiro turning it to prime. Casemiro was man of the match, in my opinion. If we look at the overall Casemiro stats, let's have a look at it. Oh my daisy. Oh my daisy. He turned it back. He played the whole goal. 1 goal, 0 assists, total shots 3, right? You see the positioning. He was bombing forward. He was lethal in the air. Accurate passes were 85% from Casemiro. Expected goals was 0.27. Expected goals on target, 0.95. Right. Jesus Christ. Casemiro, shots on target, 2 out of 3, 67%. Big chances missed, 1. Hit woodwork as well, 1. Touches, 109 touches in this game. Touches in the opposition's box, 4. Touches on my girlfriend, 0. You're not allowed to come to my girlfriend, Casemiro. But total dribbles completed successful, 100%. And passes into the final third, 16. 16 passes into the final third, people. This is prime Casemiro. This is Casemiro that I'm going to also raise my hand up and say, listen, I'm sorry, Casemiro, because I, like everyone else in the fan base, will say, well, if we need to sell Casemiro to liberate that wage bill, listen, at the end of the day, we are not accountants. We don't give a shit about, FFP or PSR. We are fans. We want to see players performing, players understanding system and winning games. If Casemiro can provide and see his contract out and finish his career at United, just do it. You're not losing anything, in my opinion. He's so important to have as a senior figure in the dressing room. Another senior figure as well, which I raised my hand as well, was Maguire. And Man United could actually gone up 4-0 in the first half, but woodwork shot of Ugarte. I'm going to talk about Ugarte. Ugarte was immense. Talking about Nico Williams. Nico who? The Williams brothers were shite. And the world stage was watching. You look at Mazraoui and Lindelof, they pocket Nico Williams. He only came free about 2 to 3 times, but the rest, we had him in the pocket. So a clean sheet also for Ando Onana. Ando Onana didn't have much to do, in my opinion. Garnacho, another one that I'm going to talk about. He was playing in home turf in his home country, Spain. He was a tricky customer. They chopped him down. But then Højlund as well. Another player that had 77.9 on FootMob man of the match performance, did well. Unselfish display from him. Unselfish display. He was linking up the play. He was doing the runs in the channels. He was doing everything for his team. And this also led to the red card and the penalty, the 2-0. Oh my God. I'm so proud of it that we actually turning up in Europe. Unbeaten in Europe, peeps. Unbeaten. And that for me was a clear red card, by the way. It was. I was a bit nervous, looking, he's going to be a penalty. Is it not going to be a penalty? We're up 1-0. When the Norwegian referee came out, he wasn't looking at penalty. He already decided it's a pen, but it was a red card. So we played with, us written in the stars, dominating them for the remaining of the match. I'm so damn proud of this team. I'm so damn proud. Will, what you're saying here, Will, you are not the positive prophet. You came to powerful mark. Yes, spotting negativity. Yeah, okay. So guys, whatever you do, I'm not here to talk about negativity. Big up Will, big up Mark, big up everyone that's tuning in. I'm here to talk about the positivity of what's happening around Manchester United at the moment. Everyone can agree that it hasn't been an easy season for it. It's been shite. It's really shite. We know what's been going on with the ticketing prices. the takeover, Ineos cutting corners, like cutting costs, budgeting. But they're doing it for a simple reason, to compete. They're doing it because the glaze has been running down this club and the finance to ruins. The latest reports that came out today that I was reading as well, they say that they are looking to sell Nice, but this is not something new. Ineos is selling all the sporting assets. Is this something that we've been talking about on this channel, that Ineos is planning to do a hostile takeover, to take more Class B shares over the Glazers and have full ownership? At the current stage, they cannot do it. They cannot, because they only have 27% minority holding. So there's certain ways you can sort of invest as a minority investor, but if you have more power, there's more money you can pump into the club. Morning to you, Ray, as well. Good morning. How do you feel to be a Man United fan today? I don't know. I cannot lie. Like, you know, I couldn't sleep. I was just thinking, oh my God, like, you know, this is unreal. This is what we need. You know, this is what we've been clinging on to. Europa League or nothing, winning Europa League, but we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Anything can happen, right? But if Spurs goes through, right, and we meet Spurs in the finals, Man United will have to win this game. We lost 3 times this season already against Spurs, so this is revenge time. And Spurs being shit. Spurs subbed out, like, you know, Madison, Solanke as well, with injury problems. So Man United versus Spurs in Bilbao. I think the Man United, with the current squad, with players coming back from injuries, players getting minutes under the legs, Man United will clinch it 100%. This is my opinion. David Porter is saying, good morning to you, David Porter. An excellent win last night, 100%. David, how do you feel? Ray is saying, I was worried about losing bad to Bilbao, but got something good to take back home, 100%. We got back home, Ray. We got a 3-0 Cushing lead back home, right? And the point is what I'm thinking here, Ray, as well, and everyone that's tuning in. Are they thinking now, Bilbao, should we risk it? You know, 3-0 is a massive uphill battle, and they don't play well away. They don't score goals away. They don't. And plus, they got one of the Vivian, what's his name? What was the defender's name? Yeah, Vivian, yeah. The best defender, red carded. So if I'm Valverde, the manager, I'm looking at the league table. They're 5 points clear of Betis. 5 points clear, and they're sitting 4th in La Liga. So that is 4th gives them Champions League. Are they thinking, well, hang on, we got 5 more tough games in La Liga. Should we just put all eggs into that? Or should we just actually try to climb that mountain to go in strong against Manchester United, Old Trafford? I don't think so. I don't think so. To come to Old Trafford with that crowd, all we have to do is score 1 goal, 2 goals. But we saw also against Lyon that we didn't make it easy. So that is kind of a little bit my worry sign, that, you know, don't be complacent. Like, you know, if next Thursday, just go for the kill. Score as many goals as you can. Utilize players. Utilize the bench as well. Give a little bit minutes and rest little players as well. Give them a few minutes here and there just to keep the match form, match fit. But we have actually a Premier League game to play of the weekend. And players that Manchester United are still there training, and the ones that didn't play will probably start over the weekend. But for me right now, Premier League is over. I don't really look at the Premier League. It's 2 games, baby. 2 games. The return leg, Thursday, and then we book ourselves a ticket to return back to Bilbao. I want to be there. To you. Join me, guys. Anyway, how are you doing? It's Friday, and I didn't do a match reaction show yesterday because I'm in Thailand at the moment. So for me, the match finished at 4:30. And I was too busy running around and just banging pots and pans and just thinking to myself, this is unbelievable, right? This is, you know, I've been far too depressed this season, the way it's been going, but this is huge. This is massive. Not just because of the trajectory of the club, because of what we can do in the transfer window as well, right? We need to get in senior players. We need to get more of a, I don't know, Christian Eriksen replacement, and more of an engine that has an engine and a half. We need to get a Victor Gyökeres over the line as well as a striker, 100%. Rasmus is improving, but if Rasmus is staying, he needs a senior player to bounce off and learn from, in my opinion. Mark is saying, I told Mendham Europa League, and we are only team undefeated in Europa competitions this season. 100%, Mark. How is this possible? How is this possible, gents and ladies? In Europa, we are unbeaten. Unbeaten. We are the mentality monsters. We are the comeback kings. It's like nobody can lay a glove on us. And I know, looking at the rival fans, they are also sending me congratulations message. I don't see anyone saying, well, it's only Athletic Cup. It's actually a top team. We got result. And a top team that hasn't conceded more than 24 goals. The best defensive team in La Liga, but not in Europe. And Mark was saying 4-1 score prediction. I was going like, wow, that's a little bit positive, optimistic. What are you smoking? But Mark had something in his locker. It turned to be a clean sheet and 3-0. And it could have been more. The only frustration is, for me, in the second half, maybe boring. But you can understand it was more of a control in the game, right? Bobby around, pass it around. I was looking at Victor Lindelof, and I was saying in the group chat, Victor Lindelof, what are you doing? You're passing it backwards. But you know what? Victor Lindelof will not be in the club next season. So we're looking at to get a replacement there for Victor 100%. Big up to all of you. The boys love big games. And Bruno said that in the post-match interview. You know, he said it himself. It was very, very hostile to play here. But I love this environment. I love playing at this stage. And I love this crowd. And this is what lifts them up, right? But if you look at the less experienced players, they started very cagey in 20 minutes. It got to their head. Dogo looked like absolutely dog shite in the first 20 minutes, mispassing balls, you know, being shaky defensively. Also, Ugarte as well, like, you know, losing ball possession. But Ugarte started to sort of pick up the pace and starting to be that destroyer, winning the ball back. 2 assists registered for Ugarte. But moving forward, we need that destroyer to win the ball up, higher up the pitch, like a Fred, like an Edison, like a, I know, Adam Wharton is what we're linked to as well. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think as well. If you want to come in and have a say, I will post the link. Coming in and talk to me in the morning. How do you feel? Let me share the link to StreamYard and you guys can come in and talk to me. I will post that link in the chat. Hang on a second. And let me just do that. Whoever's tuning in, welcome to have you say. Let me know what you think as well. Boom, it's up there. Boom, the link is out there. Let me see what Mark is saying. Mark is saying here, what are you saying here, Mark? Amarin was instructing the team to recycle the ball on the sideline second half to keep possession. That's it. You don't have to do much. You don't have to exhaust yourself. Save your legs. I get that, you know. But as a fan, like, you want more. You want, like, at least put 4 in, right? 4 in would be perfect, but 3-0 is not bad, you know. We could have been 4-0, 5-0 up. Garnacho's goals in the first 33 minutes was deemed offside. Was it offside? I don't know. We should have had another penalty in the second half as well when Garnacho was pulled down, right? And also Mazarawi's brilliant shot that hit the woodwork. My God. We have a caller coming in here, and there is Mark, and there's Ray, and there is Boys in the house. How you doing, guys? Boys, good morning.
Chilling.
Big up,
I'm
man.
on lunch. I'm sneaking
Big up.
5 minutes to talk to you guys. But it was
Same
a good
here,
win.
man.
A good win for the boys
I'm on
last
lunch.
night.
I'm on lunch
A
and at
win the
home.
fans needed. A win the club needed. Good energy that everyone needed. I think it was a well done game last night. I won't complain too much about some of the misplaced passes from Dorgu and, you know, the not so
Forgotten.
controlled performance for the first 15 minutes. I would let that slide because I think that, you know, going away to a team like Bilbao is a tough. Anytime you go to Spain, places like
Yeah, we
Spain
have
and
that
Italy is a
record.
tough game. And I think the guys was always going to be cagey at the beginning. I always thought it was going to be a difficult game, but I always felt for some reason that we had something in the locker against Atletico. I don't know why. Also, probably because I listened to the manager. Amarim did say he has something for them. He said, they have weaknesses, but he's not going to talk about it. And I noticed it watching them play in the Europa League. I didn't watch them in the La Liga much, so I can't tell you about the La Liga form. But in Europa League, they've been easily got at encounters from a various amount of teams. RFS, Eve Oli did them 5-1 with Besiktas. These are things that happen to them in the Europa League. And I was like, guys, I understand that they're the best defense in La Liga. They have one of the best defenses in Europe. But in Europe, they conceded more goals than in La Liga you know. And I
Yeah.
think the pressure of hosting the tournament got to them last night. A lot of
Did
the
you?
players was at home and they wanted to be dominant. They wanted to be physically on top of United as well as perform better than United. And I think
Hmm.
when they realized that some of the guys at United were a little bit too quick for them, they was like, we're gonna be extra physical. And I think that cost them the game because they thought while the referee was giving out, letting all the stuff go for the first 15 minutes, a lot of fouls went amiss. He probably was told, listen, this game is getting out of hand. Somebody will get injured. You need to start taking control. And I think he
Hmm.
ended up finishing the game very strongly as a referee. Normally, it's be a lot of situations where United are hard done. And when United make a tackle, we get the yellow cards after our team was making constant yellow card tackles. But it wasn't so last
Yeah.
night. We got
Referee
penalties
was
last
good.
night. It was very good, and I think the Rasmus' performance last night was one of his best performances this season. He didn't
Yeah,
have
I
a
agree.
goal, but he literally was going to score when the guys, tug him back. He was on the
Yeah.
ball, he was about to score, and they took
Yeah.
that away from him. But
Solid.
he got the penalty. His link-up play was very good last night, and like we talked about it yesterday, Mick. The front three was the chemistry has been growing in the last 5 games, and last night it culminated. They had
But
very good chemistry. That link up 1-2 play between him, Ugarte, and Bruno showed very well. The four of
hmm.
them have been playing together for the last 4 games, and the intricate passes have been more fluent and more flowing.
Hmm.
United doesn't look lackluster. We don't look like we don't have a clue. We look like we know what we're doing. We know what we want to do. We know how to create. We know where to create it from. And I think last night
Hmm.
I could only say hats off to the boys. A big win, 3-0. I didn't expect it to be a clean sheet. I said 4-1. We didn't score four, but the fact that we didn't concede a goal, I would take that over a 4-1 any day.
Yeah. Okay. Ray. Just clinging on to what Mark was saying, is everything coming together like at the end of the season? It's like the
Well,
system, the players coming back now. What it couldn't be a perfect scenario right now. This is the best scenario. You're seeing that Matthias de Ligt coming back into the fray, Amad Dialo getting minutes. We have a full fit squad and a bench. At the end of the day, and in the attack, what Mark was saying, we're starting to be more dynamic, creating chances and flooding the box and crosses coming in. What's
yeah,
your
man.
thoughts?
Yeah, well, you can see this. Even though we've been like unlucky to lose some games in the Premier League, I think at least from January onwards, you're starting to see a little bit of what Roman is trying to do, and this is why. Yeah, I was kind of actually worried about because they've said that how good Atletico is. They don't concede at home. They're very good at home, but we actually took the game to him. I know we had a nervous start, but we scored when the guy was I love that picture. Yeah, when Garnacho was offside. But you could see the patterns of play. You could see the kind of the combinations that we're doing now. And
Mhm.
players are actually looking a lot more assured with themselves. And it looks like Amarin's hard work is taking it up on a level. He's taking it up to another level.
Mm,
And I really believe, we can actually be better now because I think we
100%.
I think we've come off of that initial stage where players didn't look confused and things didn't look like, and we were worried because we weren't creating chances at one point and we were waiting too long to shoot the ball. But I
Mm-hmm.
think the front three now is actually starting to get a little bit of our cohesion because I'm starting to see patterns of play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to see guys wanting the ball, calling the ball, and
Yeah,
even
yeah.
Garnacho, he's starting to make a lot more better choices. He's not just getting the ball slammed, trying to slam it in the corner all the time. He's looking for his teammates. Rasmus's hold up play, actually, he's getting better.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
the
I agree.
on yeah
I agree.
yeah. So I
But still,
think
but still, I think that at the end of the day, like, looking at the performance, if you're Ineos, that's not good enough. You still need to add more experience.
yeah, of course you do.
Yesterday's game display showed that experience won on the pitch. We're talking
Yes.
about the experience of Bruno Fernandes. We're talking about the experience of Casimiro. We're talking about the experience of Harry Maguire, the leaders that were calming
Yes.
the people down. Because the first 20 minutes, they looked erratic, everyone. And, Bruno was going like, calm down, calma, right?
Yeah, and I think
But
I'm starting to ask people to be leaders in the team, because we needed our seniors this season, because we were relying too much on the young guys to do it, and young men are erratic, isn't it? But what I like about what I've seen, especially in Europe, is that the Casemiros, the Bruno,
yeah,
these guys are stepping up.
yes.
You know what I mean? And that's what we want. Yeah.
My credit goes to, I put my hand up to Casemiro, and I apologize to Harry Maguire for the entire fan base, mate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, he looks like a prime, what do you call it, Maldini, or
man.
Linguini,
Yeah,
this
Harry Dunner. I call him Harry Dunner now.
Maradona, this one.
That's it. Harry Dunner. That's the one. Yeah.
Maradona. I mean, let's talk about Maradona. At the end of the day, like, this was a player that was booed, by the entire England internationals as well, and fan base. And he was the one that was supposed to go to, West Ham, and he didn't go. He said, "No, I want to stay and fight for my rights to play."
Yeah. Yes.
And he turned the corner. He proved everyone wrong, and this is a pro. Harry Maguire yesterday, oh my God, that wing play, where did that come from? That wing play was mad.
I've never seen it.
I've never
seen him do that. It was mad.
I have a clip.
He was turning guys inside out, turning them inside out, left, right. Boy, he wanted that goal. Good stuff, mate.
Yeah, it absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie with you, bro. I was one of the fans that thought Maguire's time was up. I really was one of those fans, but he has won me around, and he has won. I think he's won a lot of the fan base around. And I said I'd like to apologize to him too, because
big up Kenny. Yeah, sorry.
Big up Mick. Big up Mick. Big up Ray.
Look who we have here. We have all the way from Sydney, Australia, Kenny. Kenny, we're going to ask you the question. It's been a while, certainly, dear my friend. Listen, first and foremost, would you continue with one more year with Casemiro and Harry Maguire in the squad?
With Harry Maguire and Casemiro in the squad, yeah, absolutely. One more year for me, 100%. I would love that to happen. Yeah, Casemiro, he for next season, like, just in case if we win the Europa League, I personally think that Casemiro will be a lot useful for us in the Champions League football. At least we will have a lot of depth. And for me, like, Harry Maguire has months ago I already apologized to Harry Maguire, man. Months ago. For me, he was all forgiven. He was all forgiven during the FA Cup game. He was forgiven. I was like, all is forgiven for Harry Maguire. And to be honest with you, every single one of them turned up. I literally said it on my previous team. We can do this. We can beat Bilbao, because when I looked into Bilbao's stats, fair. They may be defensively good, but they don't score much goals. So I was like, why can't we beat them? I mean, I see some of our fan base. They'll be like, oh, but like, we're not doing well in the Premier League. But bro, Europa League, we're unbeaten. We're unbeaten in the Europa League. So we got to take Europa League into context, you know. So like, this was why I was confident. Maybe like the nervousness in the first 20 minutes got like kind of kicked in. I was like thinking a draw wouldn't be a problem, but you know what? You gotta still believe. You gotta still believe. Still believe. We will score 3 goals, and we did score 3 goals in the first half. It's been a while. We scored 3 in the first half.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
buzzing, man. I'm so
I mean,
buzzing, man.
halftime.
Yeah.
You're like
Half
thinking,
time
wow.
as well.
But this is
I
not like
was
a
really
Mickey
happy.
Mouse. This is not like a Mickey Mouse team. This was a lot of the fans were saying, "Well, we predicted a draw. We're just happy to take a draw and take it to Old Trafford." And
Yeah.
this display of performance was a vulgar display of power in a way. I agree in the sentiment what you're saying there that Casemiro has got 1 year left on his contract. Harry Maguire extended 1 year. That is, let them finish off the career like at United. We already made profits out of it, so we're not having a loss. You know what I mean? So let
Mhm.
them have, let them be an option from the bench or be a role model to sort of train the academy players. They're coming up to the first team is so important, guys. Very much important
I mean,
indeed.
one thing I would like to say on here is, that I know a lot of people love to take the mickey out of us because it's the Europa League, but we've actually beaten. If you look at the teams that we've actually beat top 6 sides. Leon is not
Mhm.
a bottom
Leon
side,
ain't no
European
joke as
side.
well.
No
Yeah,
joke
Leon.
side. And we came into Bilbao's house, who's unbeaten at home for so
Bilbao,
long. And they're
mm,
actually fourth in their league, chasing Champions League.
fifth.
And we
Yeah,
Mm.
turned them
fifth.
over.
Yeah, fourth.
Fifth, yeah, and we turned them over. So people need to respect what Manchester United is doing in Europe and stop. And because I've seen a lot of rival fans go, "Oh, it's Mickey Mouse." Oh, blah. No, you need to respect what United are doing in Europe, mate. We're doing things
Exactly.
that other English teams have not done this season. We've been undefeated, and we're going into top hostile grounds and winning and coming out with our heads
On
well
top.
high and on top, mate. And this team is not supposed to be the worst United team in history, but we're doing things in Europe, and I think that we should be really, as fans, should be like trying to push back and go, look, boys, look at what we're doing this season. Even if we don't win the trophy, we look at what we were doing because we still got that in our locker, and that should push us on next season and
Mm.
beyond. Yeah.
I think it's something positive we need to look at because while we're not performing in the Premier League and the Premier League is the bread and butter, I could understand why fans disappointed, why fans think the team is rubbish. Yeah, but understand this, right? We went from a team that was needed to become a team under one system. 6 matches, or let me say 10, 12 games into the season, 10 games in 12 games in the season, 6 Premier League matches, 2 Europa League matches, three two FA Cup matches and 2 Carabao Cup matches. Those were the games we played. We sacked the manager, changed the
Yeah,
formation,
true.
changed the style, changed the requirements of what our players needed to do on the pitch while in a game, and expected this team to perform. I
No,
think that
you're
was a
right.
little bit unfortunate from fans to put that pressure on this team. While you would say Slot came in and won the league, where was his phase? But Slot didn't change anything from the way Liverpool played. He just slowed it down.
No,
It
plug and
literally is the
play.
same way Klopp plays, just slower. Yeah, and
Yeah,
if you
but,
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
that,
but
he
Klopp
didn't
had it
change
Yeah, it's
already
anything.
pretty.
made team. Yeah, he had a ready-made
Exactly.
team.
That
He
was
just
Bruno
came in and
And
plug
Fernandes.
and play. He pressed play, play, play. Let's go on
100%.
autopilot.
And we might say this about United and say, well, we're making excuses, but I'm here for what, 4 months now? 4 months or 5 months now? Yeah, you
Yeah,
no
6 months. Yeah.
signings, but Dorgu. Yeah, you expect this guy to make miracles? No. If the Premier League is the best league in the world, the most difficult league to play in, you're supposed to expect us to struggle. Yeah.
Mm.
And if Europa League is not as good, or let me just say it's not the best European competition but Champions League is number one, right? We are at a level where we could ease ourselves into it, find chemistry, find team play, find
Yeah.
form, and then translate that next season. Yeah,
Mm.
I think it was, and everybody says this is preseason for Amarim, and if we say that, then why are we complaining? Why are we mad at some
You
of these players?
absolutely,
We have four to
100%. Like
five
I
developing
wasn't
players starting in our lineup week in week out. 4 to 5.
you're
Yeah, not
absolutely
to
spot
mention
on
when
there, mate.
substitutes come
Because
on,
facts,
more
facts,
coming on.
facts.
you're
It's
absolutely
something
spot
that we
on,
need
Mark.
to look at,
Because
guys.
yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Because what you're saying there, the leadership absolutely wrote off the season. And Europa League is one thing. Like Europa League for us as fans is the salvation of the season, right? If we go and win this, we
Mm.
forget everything what happened in the Premier League. But
Mhm.
and then we go in the transfer window, we get money, 100 million extra. We reinforce, we get players in for Ruben Amorim, potentially a better left winger, right winger, wing back,
Absolutely.
and
Mhm.
striker. Because
Mhm.
the wing backs, we know that's the pillar stone in his formation. in his style. And I say,
Yeah,
like,
wing
you
backs
know,
is needed. Yeah.
yeah, Dogo is still young. Dogo should not be the first choice. Dogo should
No,
be
no,
the
Yeah,
number
exactly.
no,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Yeah, he should be number 2. Yeah, yeah.
two.
I'm
Even
mad
though he
at that
played, even
signing,
though
to
he
be
played
fair,
well
but
yesterday, he still should be number 2. Yeah, yeah.
No.
I'm mad at
Could
the
you see?
signing, but at the same
Could you
time, I
see?
say, like I say, we have developing players, and I expect these players to go through
Mm,
struggles, whether you like them or not. Because I like some of the developing players, I might dislike some of them. I might not have wanted some of them to be in the team, but they're here. And at the same time, I think we got to give them a fair shot. And when you're developing a
mm,
player, especially under 20 or under 23, they need 2 or 3 seasons to really get themselves into the
mm,
mold of the player you want them to be or you envision
mm.
them to be. So
Mm.
I have
I'm
patience,
just going to
basically.
give you one example, guys. The 3-0 goal was a typical Bruno Ruben Amorim's, the way he wants to play. You know, the fast 1-2 passes. You know,
Yeah.
the fluid, right, in the attack. I'm just going to throw it out there because I was thinking about it. Could you see a scenario now for next season? I'm not talking about defensive fullbacks. I'm talking about wingers playing as wingbacks. I can see him utilizing, if Garnacho stays, Garnacho as a left wing back, Ahmad as a right wing back. Then you throw in the lethal number 10s with Cunha, Xerxes. You have options, Mainoo. You throw in a more of a dynamic midfielder next to, what do you call it, Ugarte, a destroyer up front, a ball carrier. Man, it does it look different in that way? Like, does it look like more of a Amarin style of play?
Yeah,
Because
because I think
this season hasn't the 3-4-3 system. It hasn't been working, so it's not really a 3-4-3. It's more of a 3-2. What is it? 3-2-1. What is it? Yeah, something like that.
it will
I think
make
it's 3-2-4-1. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, guys,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I
So
Guys,
think
it was a
more
pleasure,
I
defensive.
think
but I gotta go back to
sorry.
work, so I'll catch you guys later.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Big up,
Yeah,
Mark.
so
Big up.
I believe that this season Amon was just, testing out players, and
Exactly.
his formation was a bit more defensive than actually offensive because he's thinking, okay, I can't really lose a lot of games, but I can use my formation to get the players used to it. So I think what you're seeing, especially in Europe, where maybe teams are not as high pressing as high fast as the Premier League, he's now released the handbrake, and you see green shoots of what his formation really is.
Mm-hmm.
Because we score goals, we score goals in Europe. We don't sit back and don't shoot. And I see lots of creation in Europe, and I'm
Yeah,
starting to see a little bit more of that creation in the Premier League as well.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I personally think once he gets that pre-season, he's going to go all out in that pre-season and get these players to really show something different. And once he gets his signings as well, I think next season you'll see a more attacking and a more an Amarin style.
Yeah, exactly.
What you saw in
Exactly.
Bolton, yeah,
100%. We haven't seen the best of Amarin's system. If you look what he did at Sporting, he this is a system with a little bit of a tweak, more defensive to control because he knows he doesn't have the personnel to do the job, right?
Mm.
But I'm looking at it now, like the pieces are coming together. We have Mason Mount. We have a full squad at the moment, right? We have a lot
Yeah.
of youngsters that was on the bench as well. I mean, we're talking about Bentito Matata as well. Like, he's an excellent winger, like, wing back on the right.
Hmm. Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
need to spend a lot of money, but you need to sort of get more experience in. Therefore, I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, fuck you, Will Cox, if you go and spend your money on Liam Delap. Like, you need to go all in for Victor Gyökeres. You will have money to spend
we
it.
have to experience exactly.
Is
Yeah,
there
I
one
don't
player
want.
that you need? A striker.
Yeah, you definitely need that. You definitely need that
Hmm.
guy in there that can.
And I will argue.
come up with
Listen, for people that are slating Onana, I don't like Onana. You know that Onana.
well,
No,
he's-
but however, hear me out. There's a method to the madness here. What if you don't replace Onana this season and you have a solid defense that doesn't make individual errors, and all of a sudden you have a front three, front four that starts scoring goals? Then you don't
There
need
you
to
go.
replace the goalkeeper.
Well, you see, this is what I said in our chat that we chat a lot in. I said that I would put up with because I'm too don't be Nana because he makes too many mistakes. But if you could have a solid defense, a lots of goal scoring going on, you could put up with Nana for one last season until you find like a goalkeeper that can do the things that Amin really wants. Because yesterday, I know it wasn't really that bad, was it? Because we had a really
He didn't do
solid
much.
thing going on.
He
He
didn't do
didn't do
much,
much.
to be fair.
Yeah. And then the little things he did them quite well. So that's where I'm thinking if Amin can have a solid defense around him and get him to do less, maybe you could put up with him just for that one season until you say, all right, look, we need somebody who can do what Amin really wants to do. Yeah.
I mean, if they're looking at, if they're listening to the fan base, even Paul S from USA, big up Paul, one of our members as well, saying, now let's win the whole bloody tournament and go get Gyökeres. I mean, even if we don't win Europa League, you should go all in for Gyökeres anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I think that Ruben Amorim was asked in the post, in the interview yesterday or the day before about Gyökeres. And he said, like, you know, he's basically sent a message. You know, he said, like, you should come and play for United, not for the for competition, which was pretty much him having a dig at him to say, because there was some reports saying, like, oh, players only want to come to United if we are in the Champions League, which is absolutely bullshit, right? If you want to come, make a name of yourself, come in and, you know, put us back into the top again. You know, you're 26, turning 27. I mean, yes, we can go on the recruitment policy to get youngsters, but that will not give us, you know, titles, you know, potentially in 5 years. So you need to blend in youngsters with experience, right? So there's one department now in the summer where I'm saying, Gyökeres, give me freaking Gyökeres, right? Give me Gürkan, because Gürkan has, he knows he's a plug and play for Amorim. He knows the system inside out. That's the reason why you got Cunha as well. Cunha plays the same system, right? Imagine pairing up.
You're correct.
Listen, imagine pairing up Cunha, Gyökeres, Ahmad, Garnacho, Bruno, Ugarte, and another midfielder like Adam Wharton. Fuck
Ederson
me.
as well. Ederson, yeah.
Or Edison. Fuck me. That is a strong front line.
Very strong.
Very strong.
Very
plus,
strong.
if we look at the defense, I love Lenny Euro. My God. Oh my God.
He was absolutely, he was brilliant last night, man. Yeah, I was mad impressed with him, like, in the last couple of games.
Yeah. You go keep Harry Maguire for another season. You don't have to spend on another centre-back. We don't. We have good centre-backs already. Matthias de Ligt. We have
Martinez
Fredrickson.
Martinez is coming back as well, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
And he actually looked quite good under Amorim before he got injured, innit? He was looking like he was getting to grasp with Amorim's
he's a ball carrier.
He's a ball carrier.
But what I didn't like with the positioning of the choice of playing Lenny Euro on the right, I don't like that. Lenny Euro should play on the left, 100%. You know, he didn't look confident at all. So, you know, he played it safe. He did. He stopped Nico Williams, fine. But for me, like, Lindelof is leaving, so we need a replacement for Lindelof. And that replacement, according to my opinion, should be given to academy player like a Fredrickson, like a Kukunku. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't block the path for the youth.
Yeah. Because
anyway,
I think we've got at least three better defenders ahead of Lindelof position, because I think Lindelof might be like fifth choice defender or something like that.
Probably like sixth choice.
Sixth choice, yeah. So you can feel that sixth choice with an academy player. You know what I mean?
And I agree with Paul S. Well, there's no rationale to sell Garnacho or in fact anyone in the team if we win Europa League and get 100 million extra. You just keep adding on building. Yeah,
exactly.
If we don't win Europa League, then of course you're looking at, how can we be still competitive? Don't freaking sell Mainoo. Don't sell Garnacho. You know, we need squad depth. So I agree with Paul is saying. But if, knock on wood, we win Europa League and get the 100 millions, then just build on a successful squad. What's your thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, I think we should do that. I mean, if we get that Europa League, which is a big, you know, I really want to get that. I reckon we should just build on what we've seen, the fuse of what we see now with experienced guys like Cunha, Gyökeres, maybe Trinko, and all these guys.
Trincao,
Mastantuono,
Trinko as well.
Yeah, add all these
Antonio.
fellas, and I think we've got. Also, I'm not going to pressure us to win the league next season, but I think at least we're going to be challenging in that top half of that season. We're not going to be fourth or anything like that, because I think
I'd say probably around. I'd say probably around like maybe like top 8, top 7. I wouldn't
something
mind
like
it
that.
next
Yes,
season.
No,
something like
I'll
that.
even go higher. I go top 5. Because
Yeah,
why? Because why? We already have a
that'd be good.
squad. We have a
Yeah.
squad. We have a summer where we actually going to get recruiting players for the system. You look at, just look at Nottingham Forest. Like, where did they finish last season? 14, 15. Look where they are now. The Premier League table, it's a myth, right? So it's football. Depends on what you're doing in the transfer window as well, right?
Exactly.
And plus, in the preseason, and plus, players are not getting used to each other, used to Amarin. They know exactly what's expected,
Exactly.
So listen, I even go say higher than that. I'm not even bothered, as long as we get the perfect window for the manager, in my opinion. So I agree with what Paul is saying. There's no rationale, and there's no need to sell Garnacho if we win Europa League. There's no need to sell the talent. We're not desperate to sell.
We've got money there.
The player that we want money for is Rashford, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to.
Yeah, and they're going to sell a couple of academy players for pure profit FFP to balance out the book. So yeah, it's going to be very damn interesting to see. And potentially, if we win Europa League, potentially then get a number 1 goalkeeper. And I like the Espanyol goalkeeper.
You mean Simon? You mean like Unai Simon or like Unai Simon?
No. Espanyol goalkeepers. What's his name? He's a brilliant.
Okay.
No.
I think. Wait, are you talking about? Juan Garcia? Are you talking about him?
Juan Garcia?
Yeah, Garcia. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
West Ham wants him as well. Listen, I was watching Juan Garcia, and it's like that is a mini David De Gea. What a shot stopper! But he's good on his ball as well. His reflexes he's like a cat, and he's tall. I mean, that is what we need.
That's what we need. Yes,
somebody rapid on the dives. Yeah.
A shot stopper and someone who's good in the feet. That's what we need, because I don't think Anana is good as a shot stopper. I think he's okay on his feet, but shot stopping, nah. Some of the goals we could see this season, you think, you know what, he could save that,
Yeah, he could have saved that as well.
Yeah, and Sancho, 25 million for Sancho. There's money there. Rashford, 40, 50. There's your money.
60, actually. Yeah, 60 for Rashford.
Yeah. There's your money. And looking at Barcelona, they probably want to reinforce a little bit. I don't think PSG will come in for him. They're already stacked in that department.
I think possibly if maybe like Unai Emery wants to get Rashford on a permanent, I would take that.
But the question is, does Rashford want to be with Unai? I think that this was more of a stopgap. Okay, they did the tour. They did a tour, they visit. Inter, Milan, PSG. I think he wants wait for Barcelona because he wants to play in the big.
I don't think Rashford starts for Barca, man. They have already too many too many good starters. Too many.
This is the thing. I mean, this is the thing. KTV. I don't think he's going to get a move to Barcelona or PSG, because these two teams are really stacked in those areas, and we've seen them how they play, man. Rashford is not dismissing your mouth.
Mad.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there's also Anthony Dos Santos as well. I said he's done himself a favor, put himself in the shop window. But his fans love him, and they're basically in the finals, I guess, as well against Chelsea. There must be, right? His value's only gone up in La Liga. So if Betis cannot afford to buy him, there'll be other clubs looking at him in La Liga.
I heard Madrid, Atletico
Madrid, yeah. They can pay 70 million.
Yeah,
if they pay 70 million, 60 million, we recruit.
Oh, yeah. I would love that, bro. We would have scammed Atletico Madrid. I'd take that. I'd take that money.
Bro, if they come in, take it, boom. Because you're only losing 10 million then on him if they come in with 70 million. So it'd be like,
There's another scenario where Manchester United will actually make more money on Anthony, and Paul is saying no more loaning players, but there's a report saying that Betis wants to loan him for another season, which is favoring Man United because Man United will take a loan fee. You get his whole salaries of his yearly wage bill, and at the same time, another year has passed on the amortization of paying off the value. So next year, if it does well, you get more money for him.
Well, there you go.
You can sort of trigger 1 year extension on his contract. Off you go. You can sell him for 70, right? But if Man United, I mean, either you play it out like this, like, they're not desperate to sell him, but if they get a good bid, like a 70 million, what we played 95, 90 million something euros. Yes, we did. Yeah. And that's it's been 3 years with the club already.
So yeah, so you're not losing with him because I think because you
We're
got
not
3
losing.
years. You got 3 years with him on him, so it's like halfway through his contract, empty. So you don't really lose a lot.
Therefore, what I'm saying, 40 million is not enough. 50 million is not enough. 60, the range between 60 and 70 million euro, that is a profit, and that is the money he's worth.
Yeah.
I'm sure scouts are looking at, his season so far and what he's been doing. I mean, he doesn't fit the Premier League, but I always said it. He's more of a La Liga player or Eredivisie player, like when you have more time on the ball.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was good at at like Ajax. Like basically, he has like a lot of like space with the ball and all. Premier League, you won't have that much space. You won't.
Cool. Now, all right. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. Things are moving forward. A lot of people.
I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing, man. Last night was so,
yeah. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, but look, there's more coming in as well. Like the latest news, how we're gonna get money. Like, are you ready for this one? This is gonna hurt. This will hurt people. This is a player that I didn't want to sell, but however, freaking hell, how do I add this to the stage? Hang on a second. Remove this Casemiro goal. Sorry, guys. Add this to the stage. Can't. Where's my remove? Hang on. Yes, I have to remove this one and add this to the stage. This is something that we were opposed, but this is why Man United will get money as well in the summer window. Alvaro Fernandes, we have a sell on, 50% sell on him as well. Real Madrid are planning to use Manchester United as a bridge to sign Alvaro Caracas Fernandes. Real Madrid wants him. Benfica wants 60 million for him, but we get half of the 60 million. We get 30 million if the price is 60, right? We have a buyback clause, but we might get 30 to 35 million. And this is something like that it's smart, right? This is what we don't have to do much of work on it. This is automatically get into our transfer budget. Yeah. And there's another one which Mark is a big advocate, is Mason Greenwood.
Yeah.
You see, you get 25 million for Sancho already. That's already, you have already inserted a sell-on fee, 50%. Real Madrid wants him. We get 30 to 35 million. That is 55 million already, right? Plus Greenwood the same. Do you see where the budget coming from?
Yeah.
And this is what I like Manchester United to do in the future as well. If you sell those academy prospects, put in the buyback clause, put in a sell-on fee as well.
Yeah.
This is smart business.
That's smart, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what else is new? Atletico Madrid has also required regarding Anthony, the latest news, people. Yeah, it's coming out here. New Atletico Madrid have inquired about Anthony. Manchester United were willing to sell him for 40 to 50 million, according to the Spanish report.
Yeah.
Euros. I don't think so. They want 50 minimum, right? 50 minimum. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you sell Anthony, you profit. You sell a couple of academy players, you profit. You get sell-on fee for Alvaro Fernandes, Greenwood, and potentially other people where we inserted a sell-on fee as well. So we already generated 70 to 80 million to utilize.
I believe that we'll have money this summer because
we will have money.
I think getting the Champions League will give us extra money to do extra stuff. which the big A-class signings, things that we want. But I think we will have money even if we don't get there. I think because I think there's a lot of things around that United could do as a plan B. As as a well-structured organization, will have plan B to get what they need to get to if plan A doesn't work out. So I believe that Wilcock, Abrada, and all those guys will have a plan B in place in case because you can't just go, oh well, we're going to get Champions League and we're going to do this and that. You always have to have a conception plan in it, just to say, well.
Yeah, I mean, when you do your budgeting, you do your planning. Of course, you look at scenario A, scenario B. Like, what is scenario A if we don't make a, Europa League or Champions League? Okay, this is the budget. If we do make, Champions League, this is the other budget. So the targets change massively. So that's what I'm saying. Please, footballing gods, grant us a win in the Europa League final. Let us get to the Europa League final first, and then win it, and this will be such a transformative summer for United. If we do have extra money. I want to just finishing off with this gentleman,
Bruno.
I don't understand people that's been on Twitter, on social media, hating on this player. He is the best freaking midfielder in Europe at the moment, almost in the world. His stats, his outputs, his availability. Sure, if he has a bad game, people are hating on it. But this, I think, is going down to be one of the Manchester legends. You know what I mean?
Mickey, I'll say this right, and people might laugh at me, bro. This guy saved our club. The day we signed Bruno, is the day he saved United, mate. Because he is the one that has, over the years, saved us. You know what I mean? He saved Ollie when he came in, because Ollie wasn't going to get the Champions League. He signed him in January.
I remember, make. I remember we were like, I think we were like probably around 10 or 12 points of top 4, and then Bruno came in and he basic changed. He just changed it. He single-handedly saved us, man.
Exactly. This season alone as well.
Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I think that Bruno Fernandes is the cog in the wheel. He's the centerpiece of Bruno Amorim's plan. He is. He's so important for this team. He's so important. You build a team around him. I think that Amorim utilized him as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
And I'm for one. If you are Bruno out, if you ever come at our captain, then you're not a fucking fan, in my opinion. This guy came in. He's the only player that's come in a January window and dominating, hitting the ground running from day one, always available, playing injured, never been subbed, has an engine and a half. What more do you want? What more? And stop comparing him to bloody Odegaard, because then you're a fucking disgrace, or De Bruyne. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And this is what I said to the other fan channels. I said, if Bruno was in the Fergie era, he'd be one of the legends already at the club because of what he does. You know what I mean? What Bruno does, he might give away the ball, but he's trying to.
He doesn't do that anymore,
happen.
guys.
Yeah.
That he used to do that under Erik ten Hag. But if you haven't noticed, if you studied him under Ruben Amorim, he's more safe, and he doesn't do those giveaway balls anymore. The Hollywood passes. Have you noticed? He's playing more deeper as well.
Yeah.
Right. More mature play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hats off for the Norwegian referee Espen Eskas. Strong and fair. I agree.
Big up
I
to Jack
agree.
Reacher.
When he came to the VR, it wasn't. He already made up his mind. That was a stone cold penalty. That was a drag down.
It's a penalty.
He wasn't looking at. He wasn't
penalty.
looking at if it was a penalty or not. He was judging, is it a red card? And it was a stone cold red.
Because Rasmus would have got there and he would have scored that. And
he would have scored, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and the rules say if you stop somebody from scoring, it's a red card. So
it's a red card. Yeah.
Big up Richard James. What a game. I agree with you, Richard. Everyone is on cloud 7 at the moment. And Richard is also saying ref did a good job last night. I agree, guys.
100%. 100%.
100%. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream. It was a brilliant night. It's a brilliant time to be a Man United fan. Who are we playing over the week in the Premier League?
Brentford. Yeah, I think Brentford away from home. I think Mick, this will be the week when we reach 40 points.
I don't give a shit where we're sitting in right now at the moment. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't really give a.
I know.
Listen, what do we have to play for? I say, like, on the weekend, and was clear and evidential. He brought a 27th man squad, including a lot of youngsters, to train today. You know, they're training today, and then they're flying and facing Brentford. I don't give a shit what we do against Bournemouth. Just give fucking, youngsters a little bit of a time.
Yeah,
the Premier League is over anyway.
That's right, man.
Who cares about the fucking points where we're finishing right now? It's over. Just go and focus on getting this bloody Europa League. That's all. That's all, folks.
Thursdays what I'm at, boys. Thursdays what I'm at, mate. Looking to do a professional job at Old Trafford now, because we don't need to do anything silly, because they're not going to score.
We have to be careful, bro. Yeah. We have to be careful, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have to score 4 goals on us. So all we've got to do is kill it a little bit in the first 20 minutes, and then try to get a goal.
And then on Thursday, manage the minutes for the key players. Do rotation as well. You score 1-0, or you score 1 or 2 goals, then sub them out, right?
That's it.
Sub them out. Give them a rest.
Yeah,
give them a rest.
But I think we'll score. On Thursday, and then as soon as you like 4 goals in aggregate, you can start thinking, we just see it out.
What's your take on the link to Mumbueno, the striker from Brentford? I don't want it.
I don't know. I've not seen much of him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway,
I've not paid a lot of attention about the player, but like if we do sign him, and like then next year by December he's gonna go AFCON, and like we don't even have options on the bench though. That's I'll just be honest. Like we shouldn't be going after like all the AFCON players and stuff like that. Could you imagine if we buy all the AFCON players and like literally everyone? That'll be pure comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, true. But listen, I'm just gonna finish up with the positive, because I know where we've been as a fan base. But
yeah, absolutely, right. We've got to be.
I'm just gonna finish with this one as a positive. He's back. He is back.
Ahmad was good. Like Ahmad came back, and he played like he played like he wasn't even injured at all.
I agree.
At the ground running, he wasn't injured at all.
Yeah. So it was so important that he get 10 minutes under his legs. He's going to play over the weekend. He's probably going to start over the weekend.
He has to play.
It's not a muscle injury. It's just it was a ligament in his ankle, and that kind of heals 3 to 4 weeks, but you got to manage it, because if it's a hamstring or if it's a muscle, then it's always a danger if you do a sprint. But ankle is healed now. So sure, get him to match fitness. And I agree with what you're saying here. He looked like he hasn't missed a single game since he was injured, right? So on a positive note, this couldn't be this is a dream scenario for a club, you know? We've been deprived of Xerxes injury. I forgot about that as well. Sorry. So we got Xerxes out, Ahmad out, and long-term injury for Lisandro Martinez, Ligt. But if you look at the bench, Ahmad is back. The goals will come. Potentially Spurs. Spurs has been shit, by the way. If we've been shit, they've been dog shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, worse than us, man.
I have a feeling they will freaking bottle it in the second leg. They're going to Norway.
Right? Yeah, I've got this feeling as well. I think Ligt is going to surprise them, because they play good at home.
They conceded a shit goal in the 80th minute or something, and that gives Bodø Glimt a good chance. And Spurs are playing away. They did not travel well. And Bodø Glimt at home stadium, the fans, the crazy fans, bro. It's not gonna. A lot of people are already written like booking tickets saying, "Oh, it's gonna be a full English final." I don't think so. But if we do get Bodø Glimt, we beat them. Oh, we beat Spurs as well.
I think we'll beat Spurs this time because I think the injuries are coming back at the right time, and I don't know the players' mindsets and the way they're talking after the game looks completely different from what they were doing last time. They look like they say, "This is what we want to do." Harry gave a good interview. So they're focused. They're focused on winning this thing, and that's what's giving me a bit more uplift. Because if the players are coming out with this positive, and we want to do this talk, then as a fan, you'll be thinking, "Yeah, I'm going to back these guys." Yeah.
Another positive is now we can be more relaxed as a squad. Like we have three goals advantage. You don't have to go like hard in training and all that stuff. You can give a little bit of but on the match day, don't be complacent. Just go in there.
No.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, we
score a goal.
We have to.
If you score a goal,
we have to
up.
manage well. Yeah,
we
just have to
professional performance.
We just have to manage well in the first half. Like keep it keep it 0-0 in the first half, and then maybe score a goal 1-0. I'm fine with it. Absolutely.
Exactly.
I said something when I was solo in the earlier in the stream. Like if you are Athletic Club, right? You are sitting 4th in La Liga, 5 points clear of Real Betis. 5 difficult games to go in La Liga. 4th will give the Champions League. Will you go face the uphill battle at Old Trafford, try to get a result, or would you focus on La Liga, get into the Champions League? Listen, they're not traveling well. They're not scoring goals away, right?
Yeah.
The key defender is on red carded. The Williams brothers are shit at the moment. The key striker might be back. He's got a hamstring injury. The Sanchez, it's game over, Red Rover for them, man. To be honest, I would say so.
Honest, I know as a United fan, I'm going to say this, but I think Betis should really focus on the league now. Sorry, not Betis, Bilbao. They should focus on the league because
I think that's true.
They should focus on it. Yeah.
They can just do a walkover. Anyway, people. Anyway, everyone that's tuned in today, thank you. NAS M84 finals are back, baby. What he's saying in Bilbao. Yeah, we already played there. So yeah, we're going back there again. We already know this pitch. It looked a little bit slippery, by the way, the pitch. Did they water the gas? We all know the stadium, the pitch. So we will play. I think we have a strong advantage, 100%. But we're slipping around. So they must have put some like water in the grass before. You know what I mean? Yes, and Nas is saying, like, also continue say Europa League final is in Bilbao. Yeah, true. Yeah, we know that. Shit, if we get finals, will I break the bank to go get to watch the finals in Spain? Warm weather.
Might do.
It's a long travel. It's long travel.
It's a long travel. But it's during the week, isn't it? And that's a bit. If it was Saturday, but it's during the week. It's Wednesday.
Best country as well. Anyway, people, big up for all the call-in shows, the panels, you, Kenny, it's been a long time. Ray Carl as well, Mark, and everyone that's tuned in retrospective. If you haven't, smash the like button. You know how YouTube works. It's all your, likes that we are taking. We don't take any money. We take your likes, and that's about it. Until then, we are playing on Sunday. I'll be there. I'll be tuning in because I never miss a game. Yeah, but I feel amazing to be a United fan today. Oh my God, I'm in cloud 7. I cannot lie because this means so much for me. I've been so depressed. I didn't want to do content because the way what was there to talk about? Wins, wash, repeat, the same thing. But now we have positive things going into a potential win. I will be in Kuala Lumpur on the 28th. To report from there. Game.
Oh yeah, that's a friendly, right? Is it a friendly?
Yeah. They're playing straight after. They'll be in Kuala Lumpur and Hong Kong. I'll be there reporting. I have a press pass. I'll be there. I'm looking forward. So imagine if we win the whole bloody Europa League. What a buzz to go there and see the team and potentially get one of them for an interview, like in the tunnel. Hey, Ghana, you know what I mean? We'll see. For me, this is redemption. This is like, you know, if we win this, I forget the whole season what happened, to be honest, right? The whole Premier League season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in, guys. Time to say goodbye. Unlike that Andrea Bocello song, "Time to Say Goodbye."
All right, guys.
This is, guys.
Take care, Mick.
See ya.
Yeah, big up. Take care, guys, and thank you all for tuning in. Stay beautiful. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Let's go. Smash that like.